welcome. Vibrancy and love to you all. My name is Alicia, and I am a conscious worker with KYDS. KYDS stands for Conscious Youth Development and Service. I like to think of myself and really the team of conscious workers at KYDS as being empowered to really create future leaders through holistic approaches. And for the way that I see that actually carried out every day within our schools and within our communities is really a three-pronged approach. It's a body, mind, and soul. And so really, before we get started, I just want to share a little bit with you how that shows up for me personally when I'm in our communities and when I'm in our schools. And so I'll just start with the body, right? Because we do encourage our youth to move. Sometimes that looks like yoga movement. Sometimes it looks like Zumba classes or, a variety of ways to just get our students to come into their body a little bit more, shift energy a little bit more. Through the mind and spirit approach, one of my favorite aspects of what I do is teaching breath work to our youth, some of which we're going to be doing this morning. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, my most favorite aspect of teaching breath work to youth is not the fact that I get to teach it to them, but they come into our spaces, we come into their classrooms, and we teach this breath over time. And the most beautiful aspect of this practice is when our students turn the tables and they teach us. And they lead us through practices, or even better yet, they go back home and they're teaching their siblings and their parents and their guardians. And that for me is what, full circle is all about. So it's probably one of my favorite aspects, and just seeing our students embrace that and then be able to give it back to their own communities and their own families. One of the things that I think also comes up a lot for me in terms of, creating future leaders through holistic approaches has to do with, what our students are bringing into the body, whether it's through their eyes, whether it's through their ears, whether it's the food that they're eating, right? What kind of music are you listening to? What kind of books and movies are you watching? What are we eating? And that's not to sit on a soapbox and preach. It's really about, let's have a conversation about this. What's that bag of chips have in it? And I think one of the last sessions in school, I had a student bring in a bag of chips and I was like, let's turn it around. Like, tell me what's in this, bag of chips. And one of my students was like, I can't even pronounce this and I don't know what it is. And I was like, all right, well, let's look it up. And it was like some genetically modified, I don't know what, but it just was a way for them to connect on what it is that they were choosing, and then talk about like, what are some alternatives that help raise the vibration within the body. So I feel fortunate and really privileged to kind of work in this space, and excited to be here this morning and sharing some breath practice as well as one of my personal favorite meditations. And so I'm just making sure, just taking a quick look at who's joined us. No one new, beautiful, okay. So this morning we're going to be incorporating 3 breaths. The first one is a letting go breath, and letting go breath is, and they're all very what I would consider accessible breath works. And so the first one, letting go, is an inhale through the nose when we fill the belly, and then the exhale through the mouth, like a sigh. And this, quite frankly, this breath for me is like a real quick go-to, release tension, and really induce a little bit of relaxation. So the second breath, and I'm gonna walk us through each of this. I just kind of wanna briefly describe each of them for us. The second breath is an anchor breath. This anchor breath gives us a direct connection to the digestive system, the brain, and the parasympathetic nervous system. It activates the body's natural rest and relaxation. And it's like a lot of times you'll hear us, the conscious workers describe this like the anchor that you drop from the bottom of a boat or a ship that comes down to the ocean. It holds down that boat very much so. That deep inhale, right, holds us into or brings us into our center. So we'll get to experience that as well this morning. And then the last breath, the 3-part breath, this is really for me probably one of the most physically, the ones that I feel the most in my body, because it helps expand the lungs. It keeps the lungs healthy and elastic, and like, who can't use that, right? Like, that's a great practice for any one of us to have. But it also, you know, oxygenates our blood, and it helps to calm the mind and really reduce stress. So I just wanted to offer a little bit of an explanation to the 3 practices that we'll be enjoying this morning. And then from that breath work, we're going to be segueing into a loving kindness meditation. So if you haven't already done so, feel free to come into a seated position. And now, whether you're on the floor or on a chair, either will work. I'm in a chair, and so what I like to do is I like to remove my shoes and bring my feet. I'm gonna lower that chair a little bit. I like to bring my feet right into the ground, create a connection with the earth. I like to feel the sits bones pushing into the surface below me, whether that's the floor or a chair. Just kind of notice as we bring attention to the feet and to the sits bones, what's going on in the body. I often like to think about the spine, the neck, and the head being in a nice straight line, not rigid, just straight. Pushing the crown of the head. Into the sky above. Pushing the sits bones into the earth below. And maybe just for a moment, even before we shut down the eyes, just think about the expansion through the spine. Can you get a little bit taller here? And when and if it's comfortable, allow the eyelids to come together. And if not comfortable to close the eyes, just allow the eyes to get heavy and allow the gaze to come forward. And we only suggest this as to perhaps eliminate any distractions that might be going on around us. We are going to begin this morning with our letting go breath. But just for a moment, take this time to check in with the physical body. Notice anything that you might feel, any physical tensions, any sensations that might be arising. Emotions and mental sensations. And oftentimes when we begin our practice, and even throughout our practice, sometimes our thoughts come into the practice, and that's absolutely normal. So I just ask that you do your best to release any judgment about that. There's no right, there's no wrong. I often tend to acknowledge the thoughts that arise and realize that they'll be there for me after the practice. And also, when that happens, I redirect my attention to the breath itself. So we're going to begin with our letting go breath. And don't forget, we inhale through the nose, fill the belly. And then the exhale, we release the breath through the mouth like a big sigh. We're going to do 10 rounds of that breath. Allow the hands to fall onto the lap if that's comfortable. Sitting up nice and tall. As a community, let's take that first breath in together. Inhaling through the nose, filling the belly. Exhaling through the mouth. Again, inhaling through the nose, allowing the belly to rise like a balloon. Exhaling through the mouth. As we exhale, allow the belly button to push through the spot to the spine, letting all of the air come out of the lungs. Together, we inhale for 3. And sigh out through the mouth. We can think about the inhale as the invitation of peace and love and kindness. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the belly for 4. Exhaling stress. Inhaling, filling the belly. Bringing in calm. Exhale through the mouth. Releasing fear. Together, we continue to take breaths as a community for 6. Feel the belly expand. Exhale through the mouth. Feeling the belly retract. Inhaling. Exhaling. Breath in. Breath out. On these final 2 breaths, as a community, let's bring in peace, love, and compassion on our inhale. On the exhale, releasing any stress, fear, or anxiety. On this final breath, together as a community, let's take the deepest inhale of the day, filling the belly just as much as we can. Holding the breath at the top for 3, for 2, for 1, releasing through the mouth. At the bottom of this 10th breath, allow the breath to return to its natural state. No forcible inhale, no forcible exhale. Allow the hands to fall on the lap. And just take a moment here. Take a moment to connect. Notice. Notice how you feel. Perhaps scanning the body, paying attention to any sensations that might arise, physical sensations, even emotional ones. No judgment. Just allowing this moment in time to be. The breath here remains natural for a few more rounds as we observe. As we transition into our anchor breath, I will guide us once again. The anchor breath comes in through the nose and out through the nose. And as I mentioned earlier, I like to really think about this breath as a breath that holds me down when the waters of life could get a little bit rough. Just like an anchor holds down our ships that are at sea, the anchor breath holds us down. If you like, you can actually place your hand on your belly, just as we do with our letting go breath. And this is just really to feel the movement of the belly rising and falling. So again, just take a look or feel the body, noticing the sits bones pushing into the earth below you or the chair below you, the crown of the head pushing towards the sky. And on the inhale through the nose, we're going to fill the belly just as much as we can. Feeling the belly rise. And on the exhale through the nose this time, notice the belly as it pushes towards the midline. Inhaling. Exhaling. On the exhale, we feel that belly button push towards the spine, towards the midline of the body. And as the belly button is pushing back, we are letting all of the air come out of the lungs. Inhaling, filling that belly as much as we can. Feeling the hand on the belly rise, and on the exhale through the nose, allowing that belly button to push back. Inhaling together. Exhaling. We're doing a few more rounds together as a community this morning. The breath comes in, the belly rises. On the exhale through the nose, the belly contracts. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breath in. Breath out. On these final 2 rounds of anchor breath, allow yourself to take deep, profound breaths, inhaling and filling the belly. Really think of the belly expanding the way that a balloon does as it's filled with air. And on the exhale, really bringing that belly button towards the spine and allowing all of the air to be expunged from the lungs. Together as a community, let's breathe in. And exhaling through the nose. This final round of anchor breath. As a community, let's take the deepest inhale yet. Together, filling the belly with air. Hold it at the top for 4, for 3, for 2, 1. Release. Allowing the natural breath to resume. Allowing the hands to rest and relax on the thighs or the knees, whatever's comfortable. And again, we take a moment to come inward and just observe what's going on the inside. Notice how it is that you feel. Notice any sensations, any vibrations, anything that's shifted. And if nothing's shifted, that's okay too. But this is just about taking a moment to connecting with what we're feeling. As we transition into our third and final breath, 3-part breath. Again, I will guide you through. Don't forget to, in this particular breath, bring one hand to the belly, like we just did in our anchor breath and perhaps our letting go breath. And one hand comes over the heart space, just creating that connection to the belly and to the heart. This 3-part breath begins with an inhale that gently pushes into the abdomen. And then from the abdomen, we're energetically pushing that breath into the ribs. And then ultimately the breath pushes into the heart space where there's just a slight expansion of the heart. And then on the exhale, we let the heart come in, we let the ribs come in, and then the belly. So inhaling, we expand the heart, the ribs, the belly, the ribs, the heart. And then we contract on the exhale, the heart, the ribs, the belly. There's no right or wrong way here. And so if this is the first time we're experiencing a 3-part breath, allow yourself a little bit of patience and kindness towards self. And if not, if this is not your first time doing the 3-part breath, my suggestion is allowing a little bit of extra flow, maybe just letting the breath come naturally from the belly, the ribs, and the heart, letting it be a little bit more fluid. So again, just before we begin, recognizing our mindful body, pushing our sits bones into the earth below us or the chair below us, straight spine, neck and head, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And together as we breathe in, the breath comes into the belly, rises into the ribs, expanding into the heart. And on the exhale, retracting or bringing the heart space back, the ribs, and then the belly. Inhaling. And exhaling. The breath comes in, letting it flow naturally through the belly, the ribs, and the heart space as it expands, retracting the heart space, the ribs, and the belly as we exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Breath in. Breath out. Two more rounds of this breath. On the inhale, remembering that the belly expands. We are pushing that breath into the ribs and then expanding the heart space. And on the exhale, retracting, letting that heart space come towards the inside, ribs, inside, belly, collapsing here. Last round, inhaling together as a community, breath coming in. And out. Allowing the breath to be natural once again. No forcible inhale, no forcible exhale. Allowing the hands to come down onto the thighs, just relaxing here a moment. The eyes remain closed. And again, taking this opportunity to check in, to come inward, to notice what it is that we feel, to connect to any sensations that might have arisen or that are arising. And just to connect with that. Just being the observer. To close our breath practice, let's just take one final letting go breath. And as a community, let's just take the deepest inhale that we've taken so far, allowing that belly to really rise like an expanding balloon. Bringing in all of the love, all of the compassion, all of the hope, holding that breath at the top for 3, 2, 1. Out through the mouth, releasing anything that no longer serves. Slowly bring movement to the toes, maybe to the ankles, maybe to the fingers, the wrists. If you can make circles with the wrists. Maybe allow the shoulders to gently come up towards the ears, and then gently bring them down, letting the scalps behind you come together. Look, think about the corners of your mouth. Let them come up towards your ears. And put a smile on your heart as well. And then allow the eyes to gently open. And just return. And thank you so much for taking the time to experience those really important breath work that we use every day in our communities, in our schools. I know from a personal perspective, they definitely bring me a great deal of peace. I'm just thinking we can actually take an opportunity now before we come into our meditation and maybe share 1 or 2 words or really anything that you'd like with regards to how you felt or how you feel after taking that time to connect to the breath and to the internal space. Thank you, Anna. Quiet. Yeah. Appreciate that. So, from here, the piece de resistance. Calm. Thank you, Jess. Yeah, I feel ever present and just honored to kind of be with everyone this morning. So thank you. Peaceful. Yay, Nadi. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that. Peace, peace, peace. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Our loving kindness meditation. This is a personal favorite for me, and I'm going to just keep it 100 with you guys and explain why. Number one, I'll kind of talk to you about what this helps to induce in the body, and then I'll just share my own personal anecdote. It helps us to connect and understand not just our feelings, but potentially the feelings of other people, creating an increase in our own self-awareness, our own self-management, and opening one's heart, if you will, and sending loving kindness can help heal, right? And I don't know, I just feel like that even the intentionality there, that intention is just so beautiful. So, why not? Let's create more practices, if you will, around healing, not just of self, but definitely of self, but of others as well. So, and I'll be honest with you, I try to use this practice often, especially, and there's 2 reasons why I use it, because I feel like oftentimes we are so critical of ourselves and have all of these expectations, and sometimes we can forget to just be like, loving to ourselves and create a sense of compassion for self. But I also feel like if we don't have that compassion or love for self, then how then can we offer that to anyone else? So I feel that it's important for me personally, so that I can create additional love of self, and also then thereby creating additional love for others. So the expression, healed people heal people is probably one of my favorite. And I really feel strongly that this is a particular meditation that helps me create that vibration within, and then also share that vibration with the collective. And oftentimes the collective is, you know, our schools, our communities, and our students. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. So we're going to come back into a mindful body. Black lightning. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. We're going to come back into our mindful body. Some of our kids call it our statue body, but it's really, at the end of the day, whether you're sitting, whether you're on a chair or on the floor, it's just to remember to kind of keep that back, neck, and head straight, really pushing the crown of the head towards the skies, and then pushing the sits bones into the earth, and just creating a little bit of expansion, allowing ourselves to grow a little bit taller. And just settle in one more time. And when you're ready, allow the eyelids to come together one more time. And if that's not comfortable, don't forget, heavy eyes also work. Just allowing yourself to come back into the body and just notice how it feels. Notice if anything's changed, and if not, that's no problem. Just taking a moment to connect. I want you to begin by bringing awareness to the space around your heart. Yeah, just bring your attention and your intention to this space, to the heart organ that sits in the middle of our chest, slightly to the left. And really think about bringing your attention and intention to the back of the heart, right to the back of that heart. And allow yourself to begin to see this beautiful, soft, green energy manifest itself as a light. And this light is green. And this green light holds all of the goodness, all of the love, kindness, and compassion that the universe offers. Notice this light and this energy. Right now, it is tight and it sits right behind the heart space. Notice it. Notice the color or the shade of green that it is. For each of us, it might have a different shade of green. And notice what happens next as this energy starts to expand. It expands from the back of the heart space. It grows behind the heart space and starts to come through the sides of the heart organ until there's a complete bubble of beautiful green, energetic, light energy of love, compassion, and kindness that surrounds the heart space. And with each breath, this breath is natural, no forcible inhale, no forcible exhale. This light spreads throughout the body, nice and slow. Just ever so gently expanding with feelings of love and kindness. See it expand as it comes through the chest plate. In all four directions, it grows at once. expanding through the chest cavity, through the neck, through the abdomen. This light is supportive, it's kind, it's compassionate, it is loving above all. And notice as it continues to expand and sits around the entire body, and just offering us this beautiful space, this little cocoon of this loving, beautiful, compassionate, kind energy that stays with us throughout this meditation. Know that this light will stay with us throughout the entire day. For a moment, I'd like you to transition your thoughts. Imagine someone that you love very much. Take a moment to bring this individual into your mind. Notice them. Notice the feelings of love that arise. And you can repeat out loud after me. May you be happy. May you be free from illness. May you be free from suffering. May you be loving and kind. And just hold this person who you love oh so much. Hold them in your vision. And imagine for a moment this beautiful green light that surrounds us being shared with them also. Connecting your heart and your love to their heart and their love. Then I would like for you to transition and for a moment, picture yourself. Maybe that looks like looking at yourself in the mirror or bringing your face into your plane at this moment. Notice your eyes, notice your smile, notice your face, notice your hair. Just take yourself into your gaze in this moment. And repeat after me. May I be happy. May I be free from illness. May I be free from suffering. May I be loving and kind. And again, just holding your image and really for a moment, just connecting back to that heart space, seeing and feeling this beautiful green energy and just redirecting it right to yourself, knowing that you are worthy of all of the love that the universe has to offer. And lastly, I want us to transition our thoughts maybe to someone who we know that might be struggling. We all know someone who might be struggling, or maybe we want to offer this envisionment of our community, maybe the 1 block radius, maybe the 1 mile radius, maybe the globe, your choice. And just bring that vision into mind, whatever you choose. And once you have that vision in sight, I want you to repeat after me one final time. May you be happy. May you be free from illness. May you be free from suffering. May you be loving and kind. And hold them in your vision. And bring both hands up to the heart space. And for a moment, again, using the energy of love, compassion, and kindness, allow this beautiful green energy that still sits around our entire body and in our heart, and share it, whether it was an individual, whether it was a community, whether it was the globe. And just take a moment and know that we have the power and the love to send and emanate this beautiful energy from our heart space right to them directly. And with all the cells in our being and all the energy of love and compassion, just sending that light directly to them. Knowing that we are a vessel of this beautiful, heartful, kind and loving energy to people that we love, to ourselves, and to those who may be struggling. Allowing the hands to remain over the heart space, feeling the connection of the heart, of the energy created in love and kindness this morning. Of this energy that continues to stay with us even as meditation has concluded. Allow yourselves to bring a smile right onto the heart space. Literally feel the sides of the heart expand. And if you want to bring that smile to the corners of your mouth, I encourage you to. And slowly, when you're ready, allow the eyes to open and come back. And maybe just share your beautiful smile with us here this morning. Like there's nothing that says that you can't keep your hands over your heart space a little longer. Oh, thank you so much, guys, for participating this morning. One more time, why don't we, after having taken the time to send all of that love into the world, into the universe, why don't we just share how it is that we're feeling? One word, a couple of words, anything that you want. Thank you. Feeling calm and peaceful. Appreciate you. Yeah, I also appreciate you guys. Thank you, Centered. I just want to also, again, thank you for coming in this morning. Thank you for sharing this practice with us. Know that these are just beautiful practices that we share with our youth and with our communities on a regular basis. And I kind of want to just remind you, just for a brief moment, before we jet out of here. And I got a little cheat sheet here for myself. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we are doing this 9 a.m. meditation. It's done via Zoom. So anytime you want to join us, please do so. But also remember to share this with anybody who you think would just love to join us and could benefit, right? And then 1 p.m. on our Instagram Live, we're doing a live stop and breathe, which is really super fun. Short, you can do it at any time. You know, once you watch it, you can incorporate that real easy breath anytime. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have 1 p.m. live Instagram of our Conscious Classroom. And then we also have evening 6 p.m. meditations via our Facebook Live. So many opportunities for us to stay connected. Please feel free to come back and join us anytime, but also make sure you're spreading the word. That's how we're going to stay connected during this time, and that's how we're going to continue to raise that vibration, share our love with one another. Thank you so much. Peace and love to you all. Oh, let me just read here. Thank you, Centered. Thank you. I feel peaceful. Love. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Appreciate you. Peace.